Hey two-wheeled friends, welcome back to the channel and what we will classify as a shadow day out here on this 2007 Honda Shadow Spirit 750. And I thought we would chat about, is riding motorcycle expensive? Kind of a little discussion topic. So let's roll the intro and we will chat. Vehicle. So thanks for coming along. Had a nice day, so I thought I'd get out and do a little bit of a video. Gonna stop and get some fuel here in a bit. I think it's a little lower than what Mrs.TWOWHEELD might have let on as she thought was in it. So I've been kind of thinking there's a lot of riders here in this group and a lot of non-riders who are thinking about learning to ride. So the topic of, is riding motorcycle expensive, kind of comes up, and I want all of you riders to leave comments down below for all the non-riders, or even just leave your opinions down below if you think it's expensive. But I'm going to give you my take on it as well. So my thoughts, obviously you have to buy the motorcycle to begin with, so that can be expensive, but you can also do it inexpensively. You know, if you find a nice used ride, keep the cost down, you know, between that $1,000 and $3,000 range. Probably went down one too many gears. You know, like when I bought this 2007 Honda Shadow Spirit, it wasn't all that expensive. I paid cash for it. So that was all my out-of-pocket expenses of it. And I'll just say, you know, spending between that $2,000 and $3,000 range got me a pretty nice bike. Now, the continuation of it is, if you want to do any modifications to make it fit your height, your style riding, you know, your look, now you can start talking a little bit of expense into that, of course. And that isn't something that needs to be done. I mean, that's like buying that Ford Ranger, for example, new or even used, and then modifying it out. It's something you don't have to do. It's just something you want to do. So does that make it expensive? That's a choice that you can do, and it's not something you have to do. Now, if it's moving pegs, you know, putting forward controls on, whatever the case, that may be a little different because it might be something you have to do to make it comfortable for you. And I don't like this situation. Use that F-150 as a little bit of a blocker. So I'm going to pull in here and get some gas. And this is one thing that you could ask, is riding motorcycle expensive? And that's your cost of fuel. So I'll put some gas in and then we'll see how much that is, and then you can tell me if it's expensive. I almost forgot that I was recording. This wasn't in my plan when I hopped on the motovlog. So obviously you're gonna have your expenses such as fuel. You know, maybe if you gotta add a little oil, if it's burning quite a bit of oil, you're going to need to add some oil from time to time. So $5.25 for almost a gallon and a half. That would get me, you know, 50 miles of riding enjoyment, maybe? Something like that. Had 82 miles on that amount of gas. Oh wait, that's not true, because it had some gas from the gas can in the garage put in. So actual riding motorcycle, you know, like putting gas in and all that, it's probably going to be cheaper than most vehicles that are on the road. you know, your price per mile. At least for your fuel consumption, I really feel that riding motorcycle is going to be a lot cheaper. So I don't think that part's expensive. Now, we kind of talked about your modifications or upgrades. You know, obviously that's something that's an optional type expense. But then you got your maintenance fees and all that, and changing your oil. That kind of comes down to if you want to do it on your own or if you're going to have a shop do it. The last couple times on this, between the Honda Shadow and my 2019 Road King Special, I had the shop change the oil and basically changed all the holes. And the last time this bike was done was with the carb updates and all that, but I want to say to change the fluids was like around that $150 to have them change it. And you could do it yourself for probably maybe less than half that. So that's an expense too. I mean, what's a typical oil change for all of my fellow riders in the crowd? What's it typically costing you? Maybe that'll help somebody looking to get into riding make that determination. The other thing would be, you know, your storage. If you're in a northern climate and you need to put the bike away for the winter, are you going to get a heated storage? Are you going to store it in your own garage? So what I do is I just put it in my own garage, and we have 2 motorcycles in there, of course, so we do have a heater on. I keep the heat at about 50 degrees all winter long. And then if I'm going to be out there working, obviously I can bump it up. So that is going to be kind of a cost and an expense into owning a motorcycle. But all in all, I really don't feel that owning a motorcycle is that expensive once you get past the initial purchase, you know, depending on what you're buying. So I don't know if that kind of helps. I'm hoping that there's a lot of insight in the comments below in kind of like a discussion type format. It's just probably a matter of opinion. And my opinion is riding motorcycle isn't expensive. I mean, again, you got gear. You know, I kind of forgot about gear. So getting started riding is your expensive part. The bike, the gear, the training. After that, though, the ongoing expenses really aren't that much. I've never figured it out. I frankly don't care what it costs me to ride motorcycle, because I know I'm just going to ride no matter what. I mean, if it costs me $100 a month average to ride just this one motorcycle, that's what it's going to cost. I budget for it. That's my hobby, and that's what I want to do, and that's the cost is what it is. So leave your comments down below of what you think. I want to know if you feel that riding motorcycle is expensive. Now, I suppose it depends on how many trips you go on. So I mean, there's all these things that kind of keep coming in my mind. Where are you going? How often are you riding? I don't know what this guy's doing. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. Like I said, this is just kind of a topic that popped into my head because I know there's a lot of people who are thinking about riding in this group and might be curious. Just plan for some gear, plan for a helmet, jacket, and gloves at the very least, and then you can start exploring into the riding boots and the pants. I'm not telling you which gear to pick and choose first, but it's kind of the 3 top for me is helmet, upper body, and gloves. But you definitely want to have some good riding shoes too. In the event you go down, you don't want your shoes to come off before you even hit the ground. So I got my high top sneakers on today, so they're tied tight around my ankles. But I think I'm going to wrap the video up there. Thanks for coming along, two-wheeled friends. If you are new to the channel and like watching motorcycle related content, give this video a big thumbs up. Go down there, click the subscribe button, and ring the bell for future uploads and activity. Leave that comment down below if you feel motorcycle riding is expensive. If you ride, if you don't ride, maybe leave your opinion if you feel it's expensive to ride. You've checked into it and that's why you're not riding yet. So with that, we will close with the peace out, two-wheel friends, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.